American society is doomed and no one is even recognizing it. This is a true story. Last night, around 6 o'clock, I sat down at the park to make some hot tea. 5 minutes later, this young lad crashes off his scooter and seriously damages himself. And I'm about 400 to 500 feet away. So it's kind of far, but I'm seeing it. And this guy falls and he's in significant pain, this young gentleman. He's moaning and he's groaning. He's in serious pain. He tries to get up and he falls right down. And I'm watching 400 or 500 feet away. I have my bike. I've already started to make hot tea and I have a fire going on my camping kit. And I watched about 30 people walk past them, all kinds of ages, young, old, all kinds of colors, all kinds of shape. Not one person stopped to help this kid out. And and I'm thinking to myself, someone's gonna help him because I'm watching him. My hand is hurt, and I got my bike, I got all my stuff laying around, and it's a heavily trafficked area, and I don't want to leave it because I don't want to get my bike stolen because everything I own is on this bike. But I see this kid hurt, man. And at least 30 people go by. It takes about 2 or 3 minutes, and not one person stops and say, "Are you okay, man?" And this kid is just on the ground, like hurting, dude. He's moaning and groaning, and he can't even get up, dude. He's just banged up. So, man, I just think to myself, man, I just gotta leave my stuff and go help this kid, man. And I didn't want to because everything I own was on this bike. And there's like all these people walking by. I'm telling you, like 30 people in a matter of like 3 minutes. Not one person stops to help this kid. It blows me away. So I just leave my bike, I turned that fire off, and I walked that 400, 500 feet to this kid. And I start rendering him aid. I started asking him, where did you hit your head? Where does it hurt? And the guy's like, I can't breathe. He's having a hard time breathing, and he's just, I can't breathe. And he keeps trying to get up and he keeps falling down. I tell him, hey, just sit down, lay back down. I try to elevate his foot, and I start inspecting his body to see if he has any broken arms, if he's bleeding anywhere. Because the guy, he really can't talk, and I only got one hand. And during this whole time, everyone's just walking by. Not one person stops to help, dude. And when I realized that he got hit in the lungs, and that's why he probably couldn't breathe. I had him raise his arms. I got his cell phone number. I give it to him. I try to help him, call someone to come help him out. And meanwhile, no one's stopping, dude. Right? Then I go walk back to my bike. I get some water. I come back because he's just sweating so much. And I'm like, hey man, have you been drinking? Because I wasn't sure if he was going to shock, if it was just drinking. And the guy's like, no man, I'm barely 17, dude. I don't drink. So he was just sweating like crazy. So I went and got that water for him. Which I had just bought this gallon of water. As you guys know, I don't have a home, so I got to buy water. I had just bought this gallon of water. So I ended up giving my gallon to him. Put some on his face, help him drink it. And then finally his friends come. There's like 6, 7 people that he comes to bail him out. And all his friends do is just start laughing at him and pointing fingers at him, just laughing. And this guy can't even breathe. He can't even talk. He's just laying down, sweating like crazy. And I look at his friends and like, what the hell, guys? Your buddy's seriously injured, dude. It's not time to be laughing. And right then and there, it dawned on me what kind of shitty society we live in, right? That you can have a young lad, 17 years old, massively injured, and there's 30 people that walk by, not one of them says, are you okay? Not one, dude. This is when I realized that what kind of shitty society that we live in, and that America's going to fall, not because of external forces, but internal forces. When the Greatest Depression hits, when the Chinese come across, when the Russians come across, we as people are going to crumble because we're going to be fighting each other versus helping each other out. And the proof is in the pudding. I just saw this 16, 17-year-old kid crash. Not one person pulled over to help his ass out, which was crazy. I was the only dude.